going to show you how I turn this into this. Hi guys, today I wanted to show you guys how I use my old rose petals for several hair and beauty DIYs. So if you are interested in this, keep on watching. So first things first, we are going to go ahead and take the roses out of my vase and make dried rose petals. Because for, I believe, half of the DIYs, we need dried petals, and some of them we do need fresh. They're dried, more dried at the top, and you can hear that. And this one is so pretty. It's losing its color. I think it was like a pink color at first. So I'm going to start by removing the rose petals. Just being careful. They are still soft at the bottom, just kind of hard at the top, but these are so beautiful. I have my baking pan and I have some wax paper. I said I'm gonna leave 2 of these for the fresh. And now we'll go ahead and put them in the oven, and we're gonna put them at 275 degrees, and we'll put them in there for 10 minutes. For the rose infused apple cider vinegar, I'm adding fresh rose petals to the jar, and obviously I'm using an old Patron bottle. There's no right amount of how many petals you add, but the more petals you use, the stronger your infusion will be. So now I'll be using apple cider vinegar, and this is the same apple cider vinegar that I use on my hair. So I'm ultimately making this for my hair. I'm going to use my measuring cup so that I can measure 1 cup of vinegar. I know that this is 375 milliliters, which is equal to about 1.5 cups. So I'm gonna start just by putting 1 cup of vinegar, and then I'll see where it goes. The smell is serious, guys. I'm going to heat the vinegar almost to a simmer. And note that you don't have to heat the vinegar, it just helps jumpstart the infusing process. So you want to stop it right as it starts to simmer. We don't want it to boil. So we have our funnel here, and we'll just put this in. And we'll get our vinegar and just go ahead and pour. And yeah, we're making a big mess. This step is very important. You want to make sure that you're using a plastic, or in my case wood, to cover your vinegar, because vinegar will eat away at metal. You can opt for a saran wrap if you don't have anything else to cover it. Not sure if you can see it, but the vinegar is starting to change colors. So as the rose petals lose their color, the vinegar grabs that color. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in a dark place for 4 to 6 weeks, and I'll come back to check on it and shake it periodically. Next, I will be making rose infused oil. So here I am filling the jar halfway with dried rose petals, and I'm going to cover twice as much with my favorite oils. I'm using coconut, olive, and almond oils. The traditional way to infuse oil is by putting it in a cabinet or dark space for 4 to 6 weeks. However, you can opt to do a quick infusion by putting the uncovered jar in a small saucepan filled with water and heat over a low burner for a few hours, checking periodically to make sure that water doesn't evaporate. Been 2 hours since I put this on, so I'll go ahead and take it off. I'll remove it from the heat. To put this on the tray, and we can get a look. The flowers are so beautiful. The oil has turned a little bit, but it's definitely very pretty. The flowers look so pretty on top and even on the side. And it smells really good too. For the rose water, we're going to use fresh rose petals, so we'll take them directly from the stem. Then we'll add water to the pot and let it boil and simmer for 20 to 30 minutes and then check back to see how things are looking. So once it starts boiling, you turn the heat down a little bit and you see how it's starting to turn pink. Oh my God. Timer went off for the rose water, and this is what it looks like now. You see how it has that pink color, and the rose petals have lost their color. I'm gonna let it sit so it can cool down, and then I'll transfer it to the bottles. So now we're using a strainer, a funnel, and the rose water. You see the color, and a jar. We'll put the funnel inside of the jar. Okay. So here's our first little batch. You see how it has that pink color? This is our rose water. So I'm just gonna put the lid on this. Put it to the side. Rose water has so many benefits for your hair as well as your skin. I'll leave a few up on the screen. Here is our rose water. For the rose bath salt, I'll be using 1 cup of Epsom salt, 1/4 cup of sea salt, which is totally optional, and a handful of dried rose petals. I don't have rose essential oil, so I'm going to go ahead and use lavender. Just a few drops of this. So for the next DIY, we need some honey, African shea butter, teaspoon, half teaspoon, a microwave safe cup, and we're also going to use the oil that we just made. We're gonna need also this little container that I will use for my lip balm. For the peppermint rose lip balm, you'll melt 1 teaspoon of shea butter. Then you'll add 2.5 teaspoons of the rose infused oil that we just made, a half teaspoon of castor oil, 1 teaspoon of beeswax or honey, and I use honey, And then you'll just add 10 drops of peppermint essential oil and mix it up really well. Now we have our peppermint rose lip balm, and I'm gonna go ahead and try it out. It's a solid consistency. Okay, I smell the peppermint. I smell a little bit of rose, but I smell peppermint and shea butter the most. Now, I wish this one would have turned pink like the others. Maybe I should have let the oil sit longer before I poured it in here, but I look for shiny. And then the shea moisture is supposed to help moisturize. I mean, not shea moisture. The shea butter is supposed to help moisturize. So I'm gonna have some luscious lips. So for the very last item, this one isn't really a beauty or hair DIY, but I just wanted to do it because I have a lot of leftover dried up rose petals. So I'm just going to make a simple potpourri. My remaining rose petals. And then I also had an orange this morning in my smoothie. So I have orange peels, and those are really, really good for this type of project. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put the flowers. And then I'm also going to throw in some essential oil. And so since this one is purple, I'm going to put in my lavender. And just a few drops. And then I'm going to put in my peppermint oil. Oh no, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Well, this one, okay, don't shake it with the orange peels in it because they are really thick and they crush all the flowers. I kind of saved this one because I didn't shake it as much. So you want to shake it up before you put the orange peels in it, unless you want like a more crumbled effect, but I wanted the flowers to last like this. I'll leave this here like this for a couple weeks. I'll let the flowers soak up these scents, and then I'll be able to open it and I can pour it into like a little dish or whatever for my potpourri. And that is the final item. If you guys are Team Aries like myself and got roses for your birthday or whatever for no reason, I would love to get roses for no reason. But yeah, so if you have leftover roses and you don't want to throw them away, you can always turn them into beauty products. And these all smell really good. I'm gonna have to close the cap because it smells so overwhelming. Not overwhelming, but it smells so good. Thank you so much for watching my beauty DIYs. They're fun, easy, and quick. So in the upcoming weeks, I will be posting a lot more DIYs. I've been getting emails that have been saying, I love your DIYs, post more of them. So I will be posting more DIYs. You're welcome. Just kidding, but I do love doing things with my hands. So you will be seeing a lot more of those, especially because we're stuck in the house and we have a lot of time on our hands. So I want to use my creativity and my hands to get to work. And with all that being said, make sure you're subscribed and make sure you hit that notification bell right beside the subscription button to be notified whenever I post. I post every Wednesday, and I wanted to get that right last video. I didn't even realize I said I post Tuesdays, but I do post every Wednesday around 2 o'clock. And also make sure you give this video a big old thumbs up and share it if you enjoyed the content and you want to see more like this in the future. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. I will show videos of me using the vinegar and the oil for my hair. Stay tuned for that.